Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Stottra Satsi Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Antaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 We continue our reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, text number 39. Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritam Akarnyam Iti Udaritam Akarnyam Bhagavan Naradastada Bhagavan Naradastata Tada Prita Pratyahatam Balam Prita Pratyahatam Balam Sadvyakyam Anukampaya Sadvakyam Anukampaya Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritam Akarnyam Iti Udaritam Akarnyam Bhagavan Naradastada Bhagavan Naradastada Prita Pratyahatam Balam Prita Pratyahatam Balam Sadvakyam Anukampaya Sadvakyam Anukampaya Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritam Kakarnyam Bhagavan Naradastada Prita Pratyahatam Balam Sadvakyam Anukampaya Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritam Akarnyam Bhagavan Naradastada Prita Pratyahatam Balam Sadvakyam Anukampaya Sadvakyam Anukampaya Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritakanya Bhagavan Naradastada Prita Pratyahatam Balam Sadvakyam Anukampaya Maitreya Vacha Iti Udaritakanya Bhagavan Naradastada
Maitreya vacha iti udahitam akanya Bhagavan naradastada pitaha patyaha bhavanam sarvakyam anukampaya.
Word for word. Maitreya vacha.
Maitreya vacha.
The great sage Maitreya continued. Iti. Thus. Upaharitam. Being spoken. Akarnya. Hearing. Bhagavan Narada. The great personality Narada. Tada, thereupon. Prita, being pleased. Pratyaha, replied. Tam, him. Balam, the boy. Sadvakyam, good advice. Anukampaya, being compassionate. Translation and purport by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. The great personality Narada Muni, upon hearing the words of Dhruva Maharaj, became very compassionate towards him. And in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice. Please repeat the translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. The great personality Narada Muni, upon hearing the words of Dhruva Maharaj, became very compassionate towards him. And in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice. Purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Since the great sage Narada is foremost spiritual master, naturally his only activity is to bestow the greatest benefit upon whoever he meets. Dhruva Maharaj, however, was a child, and so his demand was also that of a playful child. Still, the great sage Narada became compassionate towards him, and for his welfare he spoke the following verse. Since it's a very small purport, so we'll also do the text number 40. Text 40. Narado vacha jananya bhiti pantaha savai nisreya yasyate bhagavan vasudevastam bhajatam pravarnat manaha. Translation. The great sage Narada told Dhruva Maharaj, the instruction given by your mother, Suniti, to follow the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality Godhead is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Dhruva Maharaj's demand was to achieve the abode even greater than the Lord Brahma's. Within this universe, the Lord Brahma is supposed to be the most exalted position, for he is the chief of all demigods. But Dhruva Maharaj wanted the realm beyond him. Therefore, his desire was not to be fulfilled by the worshipping any demigods. As described in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Gita, the benediction offered by the demigods are all temporary. Therefore, Narada Muni asked Dhruva Maharaj to follow the path of recommended by his mother to worship Krishna, the Vasudeva. When Krishna offers anything, it is beyond the expectation of the devotee. Both Suniti and Narada Muni knew that, and knew that the demand of Dhruva Maharaj was impossible for any demigod to fulfill. And therefore, both of them recommended the following the process of devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. Narada Muni is referred to here as Bhagavan because he can bless any person just as if the Supreme Personality of Godhead can. He was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj, and he could have at once personally given whatever he wanted, but that is not the duty of the spiritual master. His duty is to engage in the discipline in proper devotional service as prescribed in the Shastras. Krishna was similarly present before Arjuna, and even though he could have given him all facility for victory over the opposing party without a fight, he did not do so. Instead, he asked Arjuna to fight. In the same way, Narada Muni asked Dhruva Maharaj to undergo devotional discipline in order to achieve the desired result. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitanmena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Padikamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakham Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpaturvescha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we hearing in this section of Bhagavatam very wonderful activities of Dhruva Maharaj, who was a very exalted devotee. Thus far, Dhruva Maharaj has been insulted by his mother, and being a Kshatriya, he is very he has been hurt. So his desire, because he could not sit on the lap of his father, he wanted to have the kingdom even greater than his father or great grandfather. So in order to achieve his desire, indirectly by his stepmother Suruchi was told to take birth from her womb. And she also instructed to go and pray to Lord Vishnu or Krishna in order to have take birth as her son. And in that frustration and that anger, he went to his mother Suniti, and Suniti also said the same thing, because he's helpless. Only person who can help Dhruva Maharaj was Lord Krishna. So that's what she instructed, said you have to go and pray and worship the Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So now the Dhruva Maharaj goes to forest. In the forest, by the mercy of arrangement of the Supreme Lord, Narada Muni comes in the picture. So he initially tests Dhruva's determination. What does he tell him? What did Narada Muni tell Dhruva Maharaj initially? So he tells Narada Muni, you're just a small 5-year-old kid. It's for you, it's time to play. You should go back home. But as we heard, Dhruva Maharaj said, no, I've been hurt, I've been pierced by this very harsh words of my stepmother. And on top of that, his father didn't even care or do anything. So he declares that what he wants the kingdom greater than his father. Who's his father? Who's Dhruva Maharaj's father? Uttanapad. And who's Uttanapad's father? Swayambhu Manu. And Swayambhu Manu's father is Brahma. So he wants the kingdom even greater than his great-grandfather. Brahma, he is the chief in the universe. He's the controller of the chief of this universe. So that's the whole kingdom of Brahma is the whole universe. So he wants the kingdom even greater than Lord Brahma. So knowing the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, Narada Muni tested everything. As a spiritual master, he tested, and then he sees the determination on Dhruva Maharaj. So now he started to instruct Dhruva Maharaj. This is where we are at the moment. In one of the points Prabhupada makes in a purport, that because Dhruva Maharaj's desire or demand was so big, none of the demigods is in a position to fulfill that desire. Because demigods can give you what within the power, within the universal. Because his demand is higher than this universe, therefore demigods are out of the picture. Because they can only grant you a benediction that is within the universe. But the desire of Dhruva Maharaj is beyond that. So therefore, who can provide that? Who can grant that boon? Is Lord Vishnu or Krishna only. So today, I thought was, because the purport and also is about the Narada Muni, I thought of just giving some of the highlights of the personality Narada Muni. So Narada Muni is as we know, is one of the 12 Mahajans. The responsibility or the duty of the Mahajans is to teach the Dharma in the universe. So he is the authorized personality to teach this Dharma and the devotion service and the principles of Dharma. So the 12 Mahajans are Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, Pralado, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir, Vayasakam, Vayam. So Swayambhu is the Lord Brahma. Narada, the second personality, is mentioned as Narada Muni. Sambhu is Lord Shiva. Kumara, 4 Kumaras. Kapila, Lord Kapila Dev. Manu, Swayambhu Manu. Pralado, the devotee, the Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Janaka, the king Janaka. Bhishma, our great-grandfather Bhishma. Bali, the Bali Maharaj. Vyasakir, Sukadeva Goswami, and Yamaraj. These are the 12 Mahajans. So Narada Muni is one of these great Mahajan, or the personality. to establish the principles of devotion service. They are the authorized personalities. And in Śrīmad Bhāgavad Gita, Lord Krishna himself says, when he describes the opulence in the 10th chapter, he says, Devarsinam cha Narada. Amongst the rishis, the great personalities, he is Narada. And in the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, when the 24 incarnations mentioned, Narada is also one of them. Narada is also one of the Sakyavesh avatar of personality of Godhead. So he is not the ordinary personality, he is the great devotee, and he's also one of the 24 incarnations mentioned in first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Sorry, second canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, he is also sometimes refers, almost given the title as Bhagavan. Even in this verse, today's verse, it says, Bhagavan Naradas Tada. This is referred to because Narada Muni is such an exalted personality. What is Krishna in Prabhupada mentions? Narada Muni is referred to here is Bhagavan because he can bless any person as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavan refers, and normally it's the title for the Supreme Personality of Godhead who possesses all 6 opulences in full. As a respect, because these great personalities, sometimes even Brahma, Lord Shiva or Narada Muni is also refers to as a Bhagavan because they are very exalted personalities. And Narada Muni also comes he's the second personality in our Sampradaya. Brahma, our Sampradaya begins with Lord Brahma. And Narada Muni is the second personality that receives, it comes in a line of our Sampradaya. Narada Muni is also Guru for so many great personalities. And throughout Śrīmad Bhāgavatam we hear the wonderful personalities. And most important is the Vyasadeva. He is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva compiled whole Vedic literatures, our Vedas, Puranas, Itihas, and including the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So, who is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva? He is Narada Muni. So when Vyasadeva have finished compiling all the Vedic literatures, including the Vedas, Puranas and everything, he was not fully satisfied. At that point, the Narada Muni comes in and instructs Vyasadeva, you have not glorified the Lord, the Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, the satisfaction of compiling all these Vedic literature is not fully, you're not feeling satisfied. And then Narada Muni instructs him to compile Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in order to glorify the personality of Godhead. So he is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva. He also is the spiritual master of Dhruva Maharaj. As we're hearing that Dhruva Maharaj, he's going to give very special instructions and prayers and description of Lord Vishnu. And he teaches all the whole science of how to attain or how to meditate on the Paramatma. So he's also the spiritual master of Dhruva Maharaj. He's also the spiritual master of anybody you can think? Prahlad Maharaj. He's another great devotee. He's also a spiritual master of Prahlad Maharaj. As we just heard mentioned a couple days in the class, that Prahlad Maharaj received the instruction in the womb. He was not even born, and Narad Muni gives him instructions, so he's a spiritual master of Prahlad Maharaj. Narad Muni is also the spiritual master of Yudhishthira Maharaj. In the 7th canto, Narad Muni instructs Yudhishthira Maharaj. He's also gives the instruction to King Chitraketu in the 6th canto. 6th canto, yeah. King Chitraketu. He also the spiritual master of Valmiki. Valmiki wrote a Ramayana, whole Ramayana. So the Narad Muni is also a spiritual master of Valmiki. He's also the spiritual. So list goes on. He's Prachetas, Prahlad Maharaj, and also the Haryasvas and the sons of Prachetas, Daksha, Haryasvas and Savalasvas. He's also a spiritual master. So in that way, he's constantly going and preaching. That's his main task. He's empowered to travel anywhere he wishes. I think from the history we can understand as far as there's few personalities, but he's one of the personality that has got access to both material and spiritual world. He can travel to a spiritual world at any time he wishes to. Imagine the power, imagine the benediction he's got. Not many personalities have, including Brahma. Brahma even doesn't have access to the spiritual world, but Narad Muni can enter and go to the spiritual world and have a personal audience to the Lord. This is Narad Muni. Even Lord Brahma doesn't have that power. Even any other demigods, they cannot go to the abode. In fact, he's one of the personalities that he can also go to the inter-universes. Whereas our demigods and all the Brahma and everybody, they can travel between the universe, but Narad Muni has got a power, spiritual world and the material world, including the other universes. Is that right, bro? So that's the glories of Narad Muni. That's the power of Narad Muni. In Linga Puran, Narad Muni, the Lord Krishna himself gives him this veena he carries, that instrument he carries. In Linga Puran they mentioned that Lord Krishna personally gifted this veena to him. He takes this veena as the representative of Krishna. It's like having a deity. This is so he carries this all the time and he plays this instrument. So this was gifted to him by Lord Krishna himself as a gift, because he's such a wonderful, such a great devotee. So this is given to him by Krishna. In the pastimes, many pastimes in Ramayana, pastimes in Lord Krishna, he comes in there also. As when Kamsa when Lord Krishna used to appear, before that, with the marriage of Devaki and Vasudeva, it was predicted that the sons of Devaki would, eighth child of the Devaki would kill Kamsa. So Kamsa imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva, and then in order to save the life of Devaki, Vasudeva promised that he will give all the children to him, so he could do whatever he wants. So when the children were born from Devaki, So the prediction was that the 8th child would kill him. So he gives the children back to the Vasudeva and said, the 8th child will kill me. So Narad Muni, in order to instigate the Krishna's appearance quicker, and then Narad Muni goes to Kamsa and said, hey, you've been tricked. How do you know when the 8th child, these demigods are very tricky. How do you know this is going to be this first one or the last one or the 8th one? If you were to count 8 on your fingers, now depending on where you start, it could be any of the 8 could be 8th. So therefore you shouldn't spare. So this is Narad Muni's. If you start to count from here, this will be the first one, and then this will be the 8th one. So if you were to count from this one, the number 8 will be different. So like that. So don't trust. Just do it. And so Narad, and of course this is to not to bring Lord Krishna's pastime quicker. He's instigating that. So similarly, in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, many instances he takes part. One of the another thing he does was he goes and describes the beauty of Krishna to Rukmini, to instigate and then to get attraction. So like that, he also goes to Dwarka to witness the how wonderfully Lord Krishna is interacting with his queens. When he goes to Dwarka, he sees Lord Krishna with different queens. He has expanded himself into 16,108 different forms, and each palace he's doing a different activity. Somewhere he will be having a rest. Somewhere he will be taking prasadam. Somewhere he will be playing with his children. So Narad Muni is the blessed personality. He can witness all this. We didn't have, or not everybody who has been granted the bless to witness such a wonderful pastimes in Lord Krishna. So Narad Muni can witness these things. Narad Muni is also it's one of the pastimes of Narad, the cursing of Nalakubera and Manigriva. Out of compassion, in order to break the false pride of Nalakubera and Manigriva, Narad Muni curses them. Even though he's cursing, so what is at the end? It is a benediction, because they get to see Lord Krishna. This is the compassion of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas, even though they maybe, it seems like they're giving a little punishment, the actual punishment is a benediction at the end of the day. Narad Muni even get cursed in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the 6th canto again. He's been cursed by a Daksha. Why? Because he's preaching his first 10,000 sons. They were told to go and do austerity by they were ordered by a father, Daksha, to do a austerity. So when they were performing austerity, Narad Muni goes and preaches to them, and he converts them into being a Brahmachari, joining the ashram in the. So first time he does it, second time he does it, the Daksha curses him and said, "You, Narad Muni, have taken all my sons away. My duty, it is they were supposed to procreate and expand the universe. Instead, you make them a brahmachari. They can't. They don't do. You are stopping my task. So therefore, he curses them to. You cannot stay in one place longer than the time that takes to milk the cow in one place. Would that be right, bro? So that's a small, very small period. You can only stay for in one place as long as it takes to milk the cow. So therefore he cannot stay. So he has to continually move on and just preach the glories. That's the so even those he takes it on, and then he doesn't take that curse and then counter curse them. So he accepts that through those curses. That's the humility of the Vaishnava. And some of the great work of the Narada is Narada Bhakti Sutra. That is the all teachings on path of devotion service is on the Narada Bhakti Sutra, Narada Pancharatra, and also there is a Narada Smriti, that is the similar teachings on dharma. They will be primarily on dharma. Narada's Bhakti Sutra and Narada Pancharatra, they are all devotion service, how to do a devotion service. He's also compiled a Narada Smriti, which is the book on the religious principle, the dharma of the living entity, how they should conduct themselves. It's more in the dharma. So also there is a Narada Purana as well. So Narada Muni, in his previous life, he was a Gandharva. Gandharva by the name Upabarhana Gandharva. This is in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. When he tells his past life, this is mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So he was a Gandharva. One of his skill or thing was to sing. He was a very good singer. So even mentioned that he was so good, and in singing, the women of the Gandharva Loka were just constantly attracted to him. Once all the Prajapatis, including Brahma and everybody, they were together. In that assembly, he glorified different demigods, where in the assembly of great personalities, he was meant to glorify Lord Krishna. Instead, he just glorified in the mundane, in a very low grade, different demigods. So he was cursed to become a Shudra in his next life. So then he takes birth as mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the first canto, that he takes this son of maidservant. And as we know, that he was the son of maidservant. He was living with his mother, and he had an opportunity to serve when the Vedantis or the great the personalities, they were traveling, and during Chaturmasya they happened to stay at his place. So at that time he was able to serve these great Vedantis personalities. So by their mercy, he was able to purify. And in the meanwhile, he was serving them. He was honoring the prasad. He got purified. And meanwhile, his mother got bitten by a snake and died, and he was just left by himself. Because the mercy of these great Vedantis and the devotees, he knew what to do to the next. So he travels into a forest, and then he performs a tapasya. And so he gets the darshan Paramatma, Lord Vishnu comes and gives him a quick glimpse of darshan, and he disappears. And he wanted to see this great person, the Lord Vishnu again, but Lord said, no, not this lifetime. Now you've had my darshan, and you with that hankering, you just continue on. So he continues the devotional service in that lifetime. So this all takes place in previous kalpa. In this kalpa, so he becomes a son of Lord Brahma. Because right in the beginning, this kalpa means the day of Lord Brahma, when the creation takes place, the Narada is one of the first demigod, one of the first rishis that he appears. So this takes place in this kalpa. So this is the previous life of Narada. That's how Narada becomes a Narada Muni as now we have. So maybe he's Narada Muni also comes in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. In Lord Chaitanya's pastime, he comes as Srivas Thakur. So where in Srivas' house, Lord Chaitanya first has the Sankirtan, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He starts the Yoga Dharma from the place from this Srivas Thakur's house. And there also the Mahaprabhu exhibits his Mahaprakash Leela, where he shows to specific devotees, some selected devotees, that he shows his the godhood, the form, or how he's Lord Krishna. He's also Vishnu. He shows that Mahaprakash in the opulence, in the Lord Chaitanya as Mahavishnu and different personality. He sees the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. He shows. So that takes place in the house of Srivas Anga and the house of Srivas. So this is just a glimpse on the Narada Muni, who Narada Muni is. Narada Muni is a very great personality. And so Dhruva Maharaj is the fortunate soul that has this great personality as a spiritual master. Prabhupada in some mentions in the that Narada Muni, all the representatives, so all the spiritual masters, they are representatives of Narada Muni. Any spiritual master they gives a diksha or shiksha, they are representative of Narada Muni, because Narada Muni is one of the Adi Guru, one of the great. So any personalities, they are our spiritual masters, also representative of Narada Muni. So we should equally feel the fortune that we come into the line of Narada Muni, and he's such a wonderful, such a great devotee, and we all feel the power that coming from Narada Muni to us. So it's we, as in the devotees, or born any person, any devotees born in the Kali Yuga, should not waste any time, because the time is very precious. Time is that we have this opportunity to be part of this lineage and opportunity to serve the personality of Godhead. This is a goal of a life. This is what our Acharya has given, saying that we should be serving the personality of Godhead and get out of this cycle of birth and death. In discussing about the time, I was just reading a very nice section in BTG. I thought I was just sharing also with you that how the time is powerful, and we should utilize the time. It says time never rests, never sleeps. Even our battery of the clock is stopped, the time doesn't stop. Time moves on, never rests, never sleeps, moves on. Never and time can be never bribed, or we can please by offering any gifts to the time, or sweet words. Nor we can also allure by someone's beauty, nor any military power force can stop the time. And time cannot touch that or taste. Touch, taste, smell, see, hear, it is invisible. Time. Extremely subtle. It is all powerful. The people in the past had to surrender to it. Yeah, all the great Hiranyakashipus, Ravan, and all the great personality have all the power in the universe, but in front of time, they are destroyed. Time can burn the sun, dry up the ocean, curse the Himalayas to powder, has a power to take away everyone's body from them. Never loses its patience, but it carries out all its tasks. But it is fully under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Kalosmi Lokashayak Krita, means I am the time that destroy all the planets. So time is under the control of the Personality of Godhead. So we should utilize our time to serve the Personality of Godhead. So I'd like to end here. If anybody has got a questions or comments or yes, Boo.
In the first canto of Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni approaches Lord Brahma, he asks Lord Brahma if there's something more supreme than Lord Brahma. So then it seems like Narada Muni actually he doesn't know about the spiritual world and about other universes. So when did he get the power to travel to those places? And how did he get it?
When exactly, I haven't found the reference. In course of time, or is he because now he's become a Narada Muni, he's become a devotee. Exactly when he received that power, I am unable to comment. I'm not sure myself. But in Chaitanya Manga, there is a description how Narada Muni is able to go to the spiritual world. And there are many descriptions, of course, one that just comes into my mind, that he goes to the spiritual world and he presents the sufferings of the people of Kali Yuga. And at that time, Lord Krishna actually gives him the darshan of, as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he will come in the Kali Yuga, he will be appearing as Lord Chaitanya. He gives him that darshan. And Narada Muni is also able to that message. He goes around to the universe, goes to Brahma, goes to Lord Shiva, and he broadcasts that Lord Chaitanya is coming as Lord Chaitanya. He will be appearing in the Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna himself. So when he got this power to travel between this, I'm not sure. But yeah, you're right. As in the first canto, he does ask. So I've seen you creating, and who is giving you that power? Are you the Supreme? That's his question, correct? And Lord Brahma says, no, I'm not the Supreme. I get the power from Krishna. That's the... whether he, at that time, whether he did not have the power and the ability to know that, I'm not sure. Maybe Gopal Prabhu might be able to comment.
Very good power, but Brahma instruction is such slowly, so technically that's time he will do.
That's Brahma.
No, Brahma.
He's saying that when the Narad Muni got that power to be able to...
Brahma gets the slowly from the Lord, then he instructs Narad Muni about the Supreme Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the technical.
That probably technically that might be the time. Yeah. So I'll be. So
was that birth as a Shudra? Was it in? It was this Brahma, this lifetime of Brahma, or was it different lifetime?
Same Brahma, different kalpa. Kalpa means the previous day of Brahma.
So at the end of this lifetime of Brahma, what will happen to Brahma?
He's now become a eternal. So he will continue. I'm not sure whether he will. I mean, he will be continue his as devotee. Of course, he will not be perished. I mean, he will be continuing the service as Narad Muni, or I'm not sure the different role. I'm assuming it is Narad Muni's role. He's going to be continuing. He's eternally. In BTG, I was reading an article about Narad Muni. It says he's the eternal spaceman. You know, as we know in ISKCON, that's what it says. Eternal is spaceman. So eternal. So you could, yeah. Yes.
And could not Narad Muni give the kingdom to Dhruva because he had? So why didn't he give Dhruva the kingdom? Why did he told Dhruva to go to worship Krishna and then get the kingdom?
So the question is, why did Narad Muni has a ability and power to give a kingdom to Dhruva? Why didn't he directly give him? Instead, he asked him to do a tapasya and then get it from Lord Vishnu. Is that the question? Yes, Narad Muni is a devotee. He has even though he has got a power, he may not have a power to give the kingdom beyond or the bigger than universe or greater than Lord Brahma. But he is able to give a special power. He is a power, but he wants to give that credit to Lord Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Godhead. That is the right way to do. As a spiritual master, they give all the power to Krishna. Their spiritual duty, as Prabhupada mentioned in Prabhupada, the duty of a spiritual master is to direct disciple to Krishna, not become Krishna. So that's why he instructs him to do please Lord Vishnu in order to get what he wants. Yeah?
I have one more question.
Yes.
Is there somebody bigger than Brahma?
So the question is there is somebody bigger than Brahma? Yes. That is? Should know that. Lord Vishnu. Lord Krishna. They're higher than. And the Brahma gets all the power from Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu or Krishna is more higher than Brahma. Yes.
I have also two questions, Prabhuji. Like, if the Lord gifted the veena to Narada Muni, what is the story behind this?
The question is, the Narada Muni got a gift, veena, as from Lord Krishna. Why did he get the veena?
What was the story behind
What is the story? I haven't read that actually. I just read the reference. This article was in the BTG, and that is a reference as a Linga Purana. It is mentioned. I haven't read the Linga Purana. It's not mentioned in detail. So that Lord Krishna gives him this gift. In what occasion, in what reference, it's not mentioned, so I'm not sure. But it does mention is that it's given to this Bina by Lord Krishna to him. So in whether he was doing a specific task or duty and then he received this gift, I'm not sure. It's just a technical detail, I'm not sure.
And I have a second question.
Yeah.
My second question is that wherever the Lord is, bad things are not there. But if the Lord is in the heart, lust, anger and greed, why all these things are also in the heart?
So the question is, Lord is in the heart, and why also in the same place we have lust, anger, greed also residing in hearts? Very good question. Yeah. Wherever there is Lord, all these bad things shouldn't be there, right? Isn't it? Yeah, you got me there. I'm not sure. One of the reasons, this is how it is designed. We have a body, we have a senses, we have a heart, and then Krishna has placed these vices also in our heart. Sometimes we forget because they're living close by, and that's why we come into illusion. Because we have pride, envy, greed, anger, all those, they overpower, and then they cover the real personality who's next to it, sitting. But technically, why is Lord Krishna has put in the heart, I'm not sure. You have to ask Lord Krishna. Krishna will know. I'm not sure. Yes, Puji.
I was just add something to this question.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I was just thinking Krishna fulfills our desires. So even if we want to forget Krishna, that's also Krishna's power to let us forget him. So he puts all these different coverings on us and illusion because we wanted to forget Krishna. Then, in order to do that, he, put us into illusion so we can try to enjoy, and so we get caught by all these three gunas of the energy, and then we get lust, greed, and so on, in order to kind of fulfill our desire. So it's just our desires that we have these things in our heart. It's not that Krishna will be there to punish us.
Yeah, it's of course it's created and placed by Krishna. Yeah. So yeah, so we can be easily covered. We have this desire to be Lord. Lord said, okay, you can be the Lord. We can be covered also with these different vices. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll end here. So, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Narada Muni ki jai.